This British foreigner converted to Islam after being amazed to see a Muslim college friend sitting next to him. Imam Wasim Kempson convert to Islam, who became a famous British cleric. Guidance Islam came to Sheikh Wasim Kempson at a relatively young age. The door of his heart was knocked to embrace Islam when he was still 17 years old. It all started when Sheikh Wasim Kempson graduated from high school. He decided to enter Richmond College in London, England. It was there that he met some Muslim friends. At first, there was a Muslim named Muhammad who became his deskmate in his college class. It was nothing. The seat next to Sheikh Wasim Kempson was the only one left at that time. He did not mind if Muhammad sat there. I could see that he was from a foreign country. He was sitting next to me. He said, "I am Mohammed from Afghanistan," recalled Sheikh Wasim Kempson, quoted from the Renung Kalbu YouTube channel, Monday, 6/6/2022. Their friendship grew closer, even becoming best friends since then. They often spent lunch together, until one day, Sheikh Wasim Kempson realized that Muhammad was going somewhere before eating lunch. Apparently, Muhammad performed the Zuhur prayer first. Upon learning this fact, Sheikh Wasim Kempson was curious about the worship that Muhammad performed. How surprised he was to learn that his friend performed the 5 daily prayers. "I don't believe that person would pray 5 times a day because going to a place of worship once a week is something that requires quite an effort," he said. Sheikh Wasim Kempson was then invited by Muhammad to visit his usual place of worship on campus. There, Kempson met another Muslim friend named Ridwan and Wasim. They never once spoke about Islam or offered Kempson to become a Muslim. However, they invited Sheikh Wasim Kempson to come to their prayer room anytime, even just for a cup of coffee. There was one thing that caught Sheikh Wasim Kempson's attention when he stepped foot in the room. He saw Muslims performing their prayers. "I just waited and watched them. But what amazed me was the way they all prayed in congregation," said Sheikh Wasim Kempson. The ongoing friendship made Sheikh Wasim Kempson interested in questioning Islam. For example, about prayer. But he did not immediately study Islam completely. For a year, Sheikh Wasim Kempson tried to relearn between Islam and his previous religion. Starting from going to his house of worship to watching the lectures of the clerics, he continued to do so. Until one day, Sheikh Wasim Kempson met an Egyptian man. Ridwan and his Muslim friends used to study Islam with the man in North London. One day, Sheikh Wasim Kempson followed Ridwan to the Egyptian man's house. About 2 hours of prayer just talking about religion, the purpose of life, and after that I was completely blown away, said Sheikh Wasim Kempson. After following the material about Islam, his heart was increasingly turbulent. He was very confused and still needed time to think carefully. It turns out that Sheikh Wasim Kempson began to think about stepping into the teachings of Islam. He spent 3 months thinking about the best decision, until finally the day came. The day when Sheikh Wasim Kempson firmly embraced Islam. Ridwan led him to a mosque and met the Imam. When I walked, it felt very calm, and I felt as if I was where I wanted to be in this place. So I said to him, "I want to be a Muslim," he said. Ridwan happily escorted Kempson to the Imam. He expressed Kempson's desire to become a convert. Without taking long, Sheikh Wasim Kempson said the 2 sentences of the Shahada. According to him, the incident had happened many years ago, precisely in October 1994. Imam Wasim Kempson, Hafizahullah, one of the famous British scholars. His life story is magical and very interesting, starting from having the religious status of Catholic, but Allah had other plans and made him a convert and then became a great preacher in England. He is an alumnus of the Islamic University of Medina, UIM. Sheikh Wasim Kempson was born in London. His mother is from Ireland while his father is English. His family is one of the pure conservative and Catholic. He studied in one of the oldest Christian schools in England called the Holy Christ. At a young age, showed a deep interest in the philosophy of divine religions, which led him to convert to Islam at the age of 18. He first studied at the Salesian College, but soon went to the Islamic University of Medina in Saudi Arabia, seeking further knowledge in the field of fiqh and aqidah. He later returned to London where he continued his studies at the University of London, the School of Oriental and African Studies, to obtain a professorship in Islamic law. Sheikh Wasim Kempson is currently 37. He holds the position of Director General of the Islamic Center of West London, where he is also a member and takes part in its activities. He also gives regular lessons at the center and oversees providing adequate teaching of Islam and the correct understanding of the religion in the British society to avoid misunderstandings and stereotypes. Sheikh Kempson also oversees the teaching of the Quran and Sunnah at the Taibun Institution, alongside a number of prominent sheikhs and teachers. He also presents a show on the Arabic channel Iqra called Arihla al-Khalida, The Eternal Journey, which is followed by a significant number of viewers.